What's up, everyone? And today I'm bringing a deck profile on my Genex deck. Now, Genex is well, how should I put it? Not a really good deck. Aside from one monster, which is limited to one, most of the Genex monsters aren't that great. You can still build boards with this, but the boards you make are essentially Dragoon. Yeah, although you can potentially rip cards out of your opponent's hand with Genex Alley Trium. Of course, you have to get that out first. And without further ado, well, before we get into the deck profile, I'd just like to mention to subscribe to the channel, because around 94% of you watching this video are not subscribed. It's sad, but we can fix that with hitting the subscribe button. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. First, I run 3 Genex Neutron. Genex Neutron, during the end phase of the turn this card was normal summoned, you can add a machine type tuner monster from your deck to your hand. Yeah, that's really all it does. Next, I run 3 Genex Alley Duradark, the only expensive card in this deck. Don't know why it's expensive considering this deck really isn't even all that great, but once per turn during your main phase, you can select one face-up attack position monster you control with the same attribute as this card and destroy it. So essentially, you can destroy a face-up attack position dark monster. Again, that's not really that great of an effect, so, which I guess kind of like a common thing. You know, like the Genex monsters, their effects just aren't really too great. I run the 3 Genex Blast Fan. Blast Fan, when this card is special summoned, you can add one dark Genex monster from your deck to your hand. I run the 1 Genex Alley Birdman. Birdman is the only card that's limited. With Birdman, you contribute one face-up monster you control in the hand. Special summon this card from... Oh, no, I say you can return one face-up monster you control to the hand. Special summon this card from your hand, but banish it when it leaves the field. Also, against target attack if the returned monster was wind. I also run 3 Genex Recycled. Genex Recycle is essentially a extra copy of any of the Genex monsters. You can literally take the effect of a Genex monster in your grave until the end phase, so its name becomes that monster's name. And lastly, I run the 1 R Genex Oracle. Oracle, when it's added to the hand by effect of a Genex monster, you can special summon it. So I mainly run it in tandem with the Blast Fan. Next, I run 3 Summoner Monk, just because it gets them out. I also run the 3 Ash Blossom for a hand trap of choice, and the Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon. Moving on to the spells. I run the 3 Allure of Darkness for a draw power, along with the 2 Pot of Prosperity. I only run 2 in this build. I run the 3 Machine Duplication for the Recycled. 2 Forbidden Droplet, because it's a good card. 2 Red Eyes Fusion for the Dragoon plays. A 1-for-1. A Foolish Burial, and an Upstart to round out the spells. And for the traps, I just run 3 Infinite Impermanents. Moving on to the extra deck. This is where things get a little bit more interesting. First, I run the Vindicate R Genex. If this card destroys its opponent's monster by a battle, you can add 1 Genex monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a searcher when it destroys a monster. Next, I run the Genex Alley Triforce. Now, I don't run any Earth or Fire Genex monsters, so that effect doesn't even matter. But I do run Light, which allows you to special summon a Genex from your grave to your field face down. It's a body. Next, I run 1 Locomotion R Genex. Locomotion is it's a mind control essentially. When this card is sync or summon, take control of the face-up monster your opponent controls with the highest level. Now, it doesn't work on XD or Lynx, but if they have fusions, synchros, or any normal level monster, you can just steal it. Next, I run these 3 Genex Alley Tree Arm. Now, this is, I would say, the big one, the main one you want to go into. Now, this card affects depending on the attribute of its non-tuner synchro materials. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card to activate one of these effects. Wind. Send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the grave. So you definitely want to bring it out with the wind. Water. Select a spell or trap card on the field, destroy it. Dark. Select 1 face-up light monster on the field, destroy it, draw 1 card. So this is the one you definitely want to be going into, because this is the one you can actually do damage with. I also run the 1 Formula Synchron, the 1 Accel Synchron, and the 1 Borload Savage Dragon. Also run a Verte Anaconda, a Hulky Fibrax, and a Rorodon, an Access Code, and an Appaloosa for the Lynx. And lastly, Dragoon. well, that's going to be all for this deck profile. You know, what do you think of Genex? Do you think it's a pretty cool deck? Do you think it's not that great of a deck? Do you think the only good card in this deck is Triarm? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video I make. Bye.